What are the best abilities in Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Some have actually already been changed by Ubisoft, so I wanted to give you an updated and full video on the best abilities in the game, and also where you can find both the regular version and the upgrade. So a like on the video would of course really help me out. And let's go. As you might know, I'm doing a Helix credit pack giveaway for 2,300 credits, so you get a chance to get one of the item packs without actually paying for it. All you need to do is click the link in the pinned comment to participate, and the giveaway is for subscribers of this channel. I'll reach out to the winner via the email. Okay, let's start with an ability that I only started using relatively late in the game, the focus of the Norn here. This triggers a slow motion effect, giving you enough time to hit the enemies, and if they are a lot close by, they can very easily kill them all one by one, hitting their weak point as well. And the best part is that this doesn't cost any arrows, only when your stamina bar is empty or when no other enemies are around, the ability will stop. I also use this ability when I'm out of arrows, because again, you can activate this ability when you have no arrows left, but you will still generate new arrows to kill the enemies. So after the ability is over, you can just walk up to the bodies that you just killed, and if you got the arrow reinforcement skill unlocked, you can actually grab the arrows you just used with the ability. And this skill can be found over here in the skill line, so it's pretty far to the right, but this is actually one of the first skills that I unlocked. Also great is that the focus of the Norn here gives you extra time to hit the weak points, reducing the stun bar or immediately putting the enemies on their knees. And if you use a bow or rune with a weak point effect, like getting health back from the death speaker, they can also trigger that way more easily with this ability. It kind of feels like cheating because the enemies are unable to do anything back, like this is also great when hunting for example, or just fighting animals in general. And also the level 2 of the ability gives you increased damage for every enemy you kill, making it again really strong against large groups of enemies. You can find rank 1 of this ability already early on in the game in Leicestershire over here on the map. And rank 2 can be found in Lincolnshire. I think you will actually go here during the main story, but you can already pick it up before that point. The best abilities for melee combat are by far the Fire and Poison Strike, like activated when having the level 2 of the Fire Strike, you will already have this Breath of Fire to burn enemies, and then with 2 daggers for example, you can very easily have the effect apply to other enemies and then get adrenaline back that you just spent. You really want to get this ability into your system, so when you're about to head into combat, use it, and really with any weapon combination it's great, significantly increasing the damage and giving you a chance to burn the enemies too. Also amazing against bosses, and the Poison Strike is of course similar, but for poison damage. I'm using it here with the 2 spears, of course an amazing combo all around, but adding elemental damage to it makes it even better. And of course when using the Poison Strike, you also want to have the Miasma skill unlocked, so you leave the poison cloud behind when killing enemies that have the poison effect. When the ability is over, after like 15 seconds, you can immediately use it again, because also by that point you will likely have the adrenaline back from your first use. So it should be easy to have this on your weapon during the whole fight, and your gameplay will totally benefit from that. So both the Poison and Fire Strike abilities cannot be found in the world, but they are rewards from giving the Order medallions to hide them in your settlement. If you give the first 6 medallions, you get Fire Strike. If you then give 4 more, you will get Poison Strike, and then delivering even more will get you the upgrades. And what is nice about rank 2 of the Poison Strike is that you will immediately drop a poison cloud in the area, so then multiple enemies can already get the debuff. And what is nice is that first, the moment you would activate the ability, you would already spend an adrenaline bar, but now if you cancel it with a dodge, it won't count. Only when the effect actually appears on the weapon, the adrenaline bar is gone. So if you are fast enough, you can still cancel it, which is a nice secret change I think from the recent update. Okay, one of my favorite abilities in the game, and I also think the most exciting ability in Valhalla, is the Harpoon Impalement. With rank 2, you can do this brutal execution by pulling the enemies towards you, beheading them if they die from the damage, Otherwise, you will just throw them on the ground. And the look on the face of the enemy when doing this is pretty cool, but I like toying around with the ability even more. Something that is already possible with just the level 1 version. If you namely time it right, you can throw one enemy against another to kill them both, and this really never gets old. And I also love throwing an enemy against explosives, so they will just die from the blast. And I already showed you in a previous video how you can, for example, cheat on the best Dranger in the game by simply throwing him off a mountain. Bam, fight completely skipped. Or you can do that with regular enemies in a regular camp, of course, too. Like, there are so many fun ways to use this ability. I also showed you this tactic against the Zealots. Pull them towards you, and then you create an opening for the left hand attack of the dagger, for example. And then by doing this, you already get the adrenaline back, so they can just use the harpoon again and rinse and repeat. This sadly doesn't work when you've upgraded the ability to level 2, by the way. So I'm not sure if with the most recent update you can still do this tactic, because it's also kind of cheating. You can get rank 1 of the harpoon over here on the map very early on in the game. And then if you want rank 2, although again you can already do a lot with rank 1. No, but rank 2 is over here on the map in Essex in a 160 power level region. An ability we know Ubisoft has changed is Thorn of Slumber, although still with the nerf it's really great. First you would get a full adrenaline bar back when taking out a sleeping enemy, but now it's just a small bit of adrenaline. And you could also just shoot any enemy in the face to put them to sleep. While right now with the latest update you need to aim on the ground, so then the enemy will get hit with a sleep cloud that appears when you have the ability on level 2. Like, directly hitting them won't work. But yeah, it's still amazing, especially when doing it in a group, for example, so they can all go to sleep at the same time. And they can instantly take them out, including high health targets if you have the advanced assassination skill unlocked. So even with the nerf, I still use it a lot to put enemies to sleep from a distance, although feign death is now a better option for those one-hit assassinations while in combat. And I actually showed you the location for both abilities in the recent XP farm video, but to have everything in this video, you get Thorn of Slumber rank 1 over here on the map in Norway, so very early on in the game if you decide to explore Norway. And you can of course always go back thanks to the atlas in the world map, and you find rank 2 over here in Kent, so a little later in the game, although you can already try and get it on a earlier level. Feign Death rank 1 is really not that good. It shows you on the ground and then you will just have to wait for enemies to go away or something. Like, it's time consuming, not really worth using. But with rank 2 you can also get up and assassinate a target while already being alerted. So totally activate the ability in front of a very high health enemy, then get up, and if you time the advanced assassination skill right, then the enemy is just instantly dead and you get the adrenaline back as well that you just used. Because the enemy is not asleep, so the nerf from the Thorn of Slumber does not apply here. The only downside of this ability is that the cooldown is like 30 seconds after activating the ability, so you have to wait a bit before you can do it again, but it's still really powerful. You find rank 1 over here in Oxenfordshire, although again you want to get rank 2 immediately as well, and you find that one a little later in Gloucestershire in a bandit camp in the forest over here on the map. I have to talk about Mark of Death as well, the multi-shot from Odyssey, but way better in Valhalla, because now you can put multiple crosshairs on one target. When activating the ability and then aiming on the target, these red marks will appear and the amount of damage that you will do will increase. But it's of course even better when using it against a group of enemies, and you can increase the amount of marks as long as you have stamina, and then the moment your stamina bar is empty, you will unleash all the arrows. Or you can of course also choose to let go yourself if the enemies would already be dead by that point. The only thing you have to know is that shields block the damage, so then it will be way less. So this also means that it's just perfect on animals that have no way of defending themselves. While many of the other abilities just don't really work on animals, while this is amazing to quickly take out multiple of them, or one high health animal of course. You likely already have both abilities, but you can find rank 1 over here on the map in Norway. You will go here very early on for the main story. And then rank 2 is also easily earnable in the game in Grantebitshire over here on the map. Let me know your favorite abilities in the game in the comments down below. Subscribe of course for way more Valhalla content if you haven't already. I also have a ton of content already on the channel. A like would really help the channel out. And I also got a video up with the best skills in the game that you can watch by clicking on the screen. For now though, I will speak to you next time and goodbye.